Hi, this is a friend's photograph from the veranda of her log cabin in the New Forest, UK. I'm going to have a go at this in, when I put this, find a safe place to put this tablet down. I'm going to do it in watery acrylic. Well, I'm going to try. I've not done that before. Used used acrylic as watercolour. Just sorry about the noise. I'm just trying to put that in a nice position where I can see it. It's essentially a misty scene, looking down over a lot of forest, but I can only approximate that. So I'm going to do it wet in wet. So I'm going to use my hake to wet the paper. This is Fabriano 130 pounds, but it doesn't really matter what it is. It's the acrylic will go on thin, and I don't know what it does when it's wet in wet, so I've not tried it. I've only used it as oil. So we'll see what it does. Okay, I'm going to use my inch varnish brushes, the Pro Art ones, hog hair varnish. So we'll put in a bit of a grey sky. So black and a bit of white, so we'll just put in a rough wash. I hope it's going to be try and get a bit of a misty. That's too light, too dark. I'm going to go over that. I need to get some more white paint now. It didn't go quite as I planned. I thought it would soak into the paper more, but maybe because I wet it, it won't. So I'm going to just clean off my white area and put some clean white down. Right, white. Going to have to replace this soon. I'll get another one. It's a very good quality Winsor & Newton Galleria titanium white. Right, well, let's rough in some distant buildings. It's dried off since I last used it. The distance, the green has gone, it's gone very dry. Never mind. Plenty of white now coming back into that. I shouldn't have used so much black. I did use black in that, so I'll get a bit of yellow ochre over that. I'll just reclip this. Terry Harrison uses, well, he used to when he was doing acrylic, sponges in a stay wet palette, and he produced some wonderful work. Let's get that nice and wet. Just want to reduce some of that there, get that shape a bit better. It's still too dark. Well, let's put in some greens now, but I'm going to have to pour some out because they've dried over the weekend. So I'm using Viridian and what was that green I bought? Let's have a look. Viridian, I put some Viridian out, I love Viridian. It's a blue-green, very intense, very strong. And I've lost my other green now. My new green, oh there it is, sap green. I'm sure we can find a use for that. So just a little drop of that, we're not going to use a lot of it, I hope. Right, okay. When that dries, I can probably glaze over it and change it subtly. So I'll just get some distancy greens, bit of yellow, bit of cerulean, bit of white. Bit unrealistic, that green. Darken that with a bit of blue and red. I had some warmer greens in the foreground. Some lighter greens, darker greens, just a massive green. Right, I want some blue in that background. Then I can glaze back over that with the mistiness. Right, okay, let's get some red, some green, and get it in this large mess of trees. In there. Let's get some yellow in there. And I'll put some dark greens in a minute just to give some contrast. Right. I'll use some black now with my yellow. This is all very, very wet. Right, lighter greens, some ochres. some lighter greens. Sort of misty. Alright, more greens. Right, I'm going to go back over that background now, that sky, and see if I can glaze in some lighter greys over the whole lot. It's just about almost dry. Right, just clean my palette. Don't want any of that bluey green in the sky. Okay, right, let's go in with this is sort of better. Colour. Now as this paint dries, oops, it provides or causes a waterproof surface. So I get some of that mist over the background. Well, I'm only doing a sort of an abstract of this. I don't really want to make it a portrait, as you know. I don't try not to copy, I just try to create an effect. And look at that light in there. And that mist comes quite a way in to the sort of forest here. And that the tree showing through here, it sort of goes to nothing here, but I just want to put that in, that bluey, just breaking. Let's just soften that. Right, we can put some stronger greens back in there now. Quite a high bit here. I have to blend that, but as it dries I'll sort of blend it a bit. This is so many shades of green. Right, mix a bit of blue in with that. Give a bit more of a bit of distance in there. And we can reduce that. So it's just a general greyness over. I'll just flatten the paper again. Okay, right, let's use a different brush. We want sort of a few different variety of greens in here, so let's just warm some of this up a bit. It's this main clump of trees here that I'm trying to work on, and we're going into the depth. Black in there. That's where we've got the depth. But I want to put some warm colours in here, just to bring it closer. More rich greens. That's mixing a bit of sap green with the general mix of yellow, black and right, I'm going to go back over that background now. It's a little bit wet. There's a time in every picture where it goes downhill. And you just work away and it all comes back eventually. Right, get my dark green back. Whoops, let's just turn the picture back. No, more blue there. blue in that green. So a yellowy sort of misty. On blue, really. That's where we've got the misty bits coming in. They're all very distinct, but I've lost the shape of that clump of trees. It looks like it's on a hill, but I can't quite work it out. Light green on that side. How are we doing? Not too bad. Right, I just want to get some more, it's a little bit wet there. I'll give it a dry because I want to finish that area there. So take your headphones off. I'm just going to give that a dry. Go. I can't really call this a wet watercolour or acrylic done in the style of a watercolour because it's not. Now it's quite a waterproof surface, but I just want to go back over this area here, just to reduce. Sort of glazing with water. Smooth that out. and then put some greeny. Now we'll just put a little bit of that back in there. And a little darker green. Here. Right, that's sort of coming out quite reasonable. There's some misty stuff in there as well, but I don't want to lose all of the contrast, the detail in some of this here. I want some dark. And some light greens now. Get some darker shadow in there. Just a bit of red and blue there, mixed in with the green. Oops. Oh, we'll let that dry a little bit. We'll put a bit of that greeny grey back. Oops, a bit heavy. Okay, well let's do a bit of detailing now. So I'll mix up a bit of dark, so a bit of, I'll use a bit of black and brown. Pull my screen back. So we'll don't want to use the hake for this because it's we'll have to use a rigger. Very bold, that. Put some darker clumps down in here. There's a tree going up the side here, but I'm not going to, it might be the side of the wall of the log cabin. So we'll just fill in here. And we'll put in some rigger stuff. Well, I find it. Yes. Okay, so a bit of burnt umber, bit of white. Plenty of water on that. Okay, that's it. There's a sort of a higher than that. And that tree, it sort of comes down here. I'll go over that with some more leaves. Right, let's get my stipply brush. And we've got some little leaves on there. So we gently put those in. Like a sparse pine tree. Right. let's get some dark green. In there. Now that is quite accurate to the painting, no, to the photograph. Let's just put a little bit of stipple around here, just to alter that shape a little bit. No, I don't want to ruin that by putting too much stipple on. Maybe a little bit of lighter leafage, bit of ochre in with that mix, I think. Oops, no, that's not right. Right, I want to put a little bit of bluey foliage in there. The mistiness sort of outlines, counter changes that there, so that's what I'm trying to do there. And there's a bit of light in here. Not much more I can do with this, I don't think. It's all trying to be very subtle. Soften that a little bit. Terry Harrison could do all this with a sponge. Just want just a little bit of darker green on here. Soften that a little bit. So that's very watery there. So you can get very subtle changes by using a lot of water. And I want to put in some sort of burnt sienna and white, bit of yellow ochre. Probably overdone that. So I'll go over that little bit there, going with some leafage. Quite like that. Right, I want to put some more greens over that. That's a bit dead, that colour. So we'll just a bit of yellow, bit of sap green, just catching a bit of light here. Okay, no more. I'll get a bit of tape. It's a wonder I can find myself in the mess I work in, let alone all my bit rolls of tape or clips. Right, let's put that in a large amount. Let's see what that one does to the. Not big enough. Let's use the blue one. That'd be better. Okay, so there we are. Oops. Okay, well, what do you think? I'll sign it, and I'll sign it with a pen because the paint's rather difficult. Okay, well that's the best I can do with that. I hope that's not too obvious there. Well, it's there, isn't it? Let's bring you round. So you can just about see the background. And then coming down into this valley, and then that clump of trees and the main tree. That was all quite simple there, just a bit of stipple. But it was trying to get the mistiness was the problem, but show a little bit of the detail coming through. So I'll show you the picture on the screen. Well, I can't because my battery's running low. Right, okay, well thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.